Hello friends, and welcome to the studio today. I have some interesting ideas I wanted to pass by you. I listened to a video on YouTube by Jay Shetty, and he was talking about the 100-hour rule. And he said that if you were given 100 hours to spend on self-development, how would you portion that out? Would you, in terms of really things you're really great at, things you're kind of mediocre at, and things you're really awful at? How would you think? And immediately my response, my internal dialogue is like, well, I suck at MailChimp, I suck at this, I suck at, and I'm making my little list thinking I need to shore up my, the things that I'm really not good at. But he blew my mind because he said the most high performer people will answer that question and they will put 80% of those hours at things they're good at so that they can get better. And they'll put 10% and 10%, 10% of things that are mediocre and 10% of things that they kind of suck at. And that was eye-opening because, first of all, it's liberating. I don't have to learn everything. And, that's not a bad thing, right? And second of all, wouldn't it be fun? 100 hours of learning about all kinds of things that fascinate me. There are so many. There are so many things I want to learn. My whole life I have been, I've been very happy to be like holed up in a room, a nice quiet room, researching the heck out of pick something. That is my life. So I am taking the advice, and I thought I'd start a playlist here on YouTube, and we'll call it the 100 hours. I don't know what else to call it. I could probably come up with a better name, but why bother? And so the process of this playlist is going to be, I will learn something and then come back, or absorb something and come back and give you my takeaways. Okay? So the first one is about flow. And I'm just going to roll right into that because in the process of listening to Jay Shetty talk about this 100-hour rule, I also was hearing him talk about flow. Now, flow is my happy place. I talk about flow when I'm at the loom, and that's a place where I just love what happens there. But there's also been some places where I've been in a really vivid place of flow. One is a very solid memory of being, years ago I had this great big house, and in the basement there was a textile studio. And I remember one time especially, I had a very specific set of colors, which are all my colors, and I had textiles, and I was making something. I was making a quilt, but it was unlike any other quilt I've ever seen. And so I was moving things, I was creating curved lines. It was very improvisational, which is my favorite way to create, which is very much what I do on the loom, very improvisational. And so it was just vivid, and I need to look up the quilt that I made and put it in here or something because it's really weird. It's really delightfully weird. And I remember that as being just so much fun. I also remember another time I've been in flow state was not that long ago, leading worship at church, and just the place of sitting down at the piano. I had very simple songs to lead. It was a topic, the pastor was, the visiting guy was going to talk about beauty, which is like my happy space. And so it was songs, I chose songs about beauty, and it was just really a place of worship, and it was totally the zone, and it felt so good, you guys. So that was a flow state. And then I could probably go on, but the idea is, how do you get there purposefully? How do you get there intentionally instead of having it just kind of happen to you and it being a fluke thing that we're all kind of wondering how to get back to? And so that brings me to why I was searching for flow in YouTube to begin with. So I have 3 things to report in on today. The first thing I watched was how to enter flow state. It was Jay Shetty, and it was Think Out Loud from the HuffPost. HuffPost is the channel, okay? That was good. That was good. Now, he referenced this guy, the author of the book, Flow, The Psychology of Optimal Experience, and Jay said, look up Mahaley's TED Talk. So I haven't read this book, but I have listened to him and his TED Talk, which was really cool, and was a lot of the same material, so that's fine. And then I listened to this Cedric guy, Cedric Demont, and he is a bat. He's one of these people who has this cool suit with the fabric, and he jumps off of things, and then he flies like crazy, and then right when you think he's gonna, puncture something, he is putting up a parachute and comes daintily to earth. Crazy. And he's talking about from fear to flow, TED Talk again. Oh, you guys, that was a thing. That was amazing. Okay, so let's go through some of my takeaways from this experience. Now, as I was listening to Jay, there was a visual happening in my brain as I was, I'm a very visual person. So as he was talking, I was creating a visual. And let me find my marker. Okay, so as he was talking, there was this visual happening in my mind. Okay, so he's talking about challenges and skill. So as he was talking, he gave some terms which actually come from this gentleman. But let me just show you how this plays out for me. And once I could see it, the light bulb came on for me big time. So if it's low, okay, we've got low, medium, and high. Okay? And then low challenge, medium challenge, high challenge. Okay? Are you with me so far? Okay, so when it's low skill and low challenge, you have apathy. Have you ever been to an event or a talk or something and it's just like, when is this going to be over? It's just so not my thing, right? All right, let's see if we can get these guys to work. All right, then, and this was such an interesting word. Low skill, medium challenge, the word is worry. Light bulbs go on for me on that too, because, in the Christian world, worry is a bad word. But what if we understood it as a place that we have low skill and we are called upon to, we are more challenged, but it's low skill, so it's a place of worry. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Okay, and then this one, anxiety. I know it looks like I spelled it wrong, doesn't it? Okay, so low skill, low challenge, apathy, low skill, medium challenge, worry, low skill, high challenge, anxiety. Okay, does that not explain a lot? I mean, there have been times when I'm trying to do something and my anxiety level goes through the roof because I just don't have the skill I need to do it. And it explains a lot. It doesn't make this a spiritual thing. It makes this a very common to humanity thing and something that we can understand and change. Amen? Okay. Here, medium skill, low challenge. Boredom! Who has ever been in a class in school and been like, not interested, bored to tears, Boredom. And then over here, relaxation. High skill, low challenge. My husband came in this morning and he was leathering, my husband's a pipe organ builder, he was leathering a wind chest this morning, and he came in and he said, I leathered this wind chest this morning and it was just really relaxing. And I'm like, high skill, low challenge. And for his brain, it is really a low challenge because he's brilliant. I mean, the stuff that comes out of there is just amazing. Okay, so let's go here. Medium challenge, high skill. This is control. Now, some neighborhoods of the church use control in a very negative sense. They use this word meaning I'm trying to control somebody else. I think this is a different kind of control. This is a different definition than that. What I think is happening here is, I got this. It's low challenge, high skill. And it's tempting to camp out there. This guy said this very interesting thing. He said it's tempting to camp out there and ego come in and be like, I got this, no problem. But when that happens, what we need to do instead of being like, I got this, what we need to do instead is increase the challenge. And this is where we get flow. Yay! So that's really cool. The other one in here is they use the word arousal. Okay, so medium skill, high challenge, arousal. And it doesn't, and the interesting thing is, he said, if you start here and add challenge, you can get to flow that way. I need to get from different pen. So you can get to flow that way. And what's really cool about is if you can kind of take stock about, and this is what I've been doing ever since I listened to this video, what I've been doing is, okay, what am I feeling right now? Then that tells me low skill, medium skill, high skill. And the fact that I had a state of flow experience working with textiles many years ago, creating something with textiles, tells me I actually have more skills than I realize I have. So that's cool because, I haven't done anything with sewing for so long that I kind of felt like I needed to start over at ground zero. But I can get back into that because I have had those skills in the past and I achieved a state of flow in the past. I'm not a great musician, but if I keep it simple enough, if I keep the music that I choose simple enough, I can achieve that flow state because I'm not so distracted by hitting the wrong notes. If I keep the music simple, so that's how I keep it within my skill range, Another thing that I used to do, and he talks, Haley talks about how you lose your sense of self. And I remember years ago having my dining room table covered with all kinds of Bible study books. And my husband would come home from work and I would be like, wait, what time is it? And I had forgotten to eat lunch, I had forgotten to eat breakfast, I was just absorbed in the study. And that's a place of flow for me. I love learning, I love studying scripture, and we have a tendency to do this deep dive in one verse. And sometimes I find it really fun to, instead of deep diving into one little verse, to get back from it and get a really big, broad view of it and look at scripture from a really big perspective, so very macro. So that's fun for me. These are places where I have achieved a flow state. And so that's really cool. And now that I know this, it makes it easier to say, oh, you know what? I'm feeling stressed right now. And this is something that I've done a lot because I have been coming through a physical thing. My energy level has been crazy low. I went to the doctor. My adrenal glands and my spleen, he said, were in trouble. So I have, if you've been watching this channel, you know that nothing's nothing's coming your way in August. I just completely shut down what I've been doing on social media and focused on rest and relaxation. So I was like, what I need is relaxation. What I need right now is relaxation to help my body heal. So what have I been doing? I have cleaned my kitchen. I have done my dishes. I have cleaned out some stuff around here. High skill, low challenge. I can clean house. I got this. So that has been a way I have been relaxing, and it's felt really good. I feel like I'm in a much different place than I was a month ago because I was trying so hard to focus, and there's so much distraction going on. I mean, literally, there's a guy in the basement replacing all our plumbing while I'm trying to record a video, and there's noise, and there's dog barking, and there's, just not working. Just really, really frustrating. So to just shut it all down and take a step back and say, okay, I'm going to do some serious relaxation, and I'm going to do things like wash dishes every day. I'm going to relax. I'm going to keep the challenge low and keep the skill, work within my skills. And actually, this is so true because what I was trying to do was over here because my skill, I was in this zone because the challenge was high. And not just the skills, but the situation was tough because the dog's barking, and my husband's out of town and the dog's barking, my flow is gone. And when the guy is downstairs working on the plumbing and in the house sometimes, he doesn't always knock, and I look up and there's this guy and all of this stuff. It's just like, it's a little bit hard to focus. So I was over here in this zone. Not so much because my skills were low, but because the situation was low. So I think that has been really, really an interesting thing to learn. Also, I want to point out, the Cedric Dumont guy had a, let's see, is this going to work? Yeah, I still have space here. Okay. So the Cedric Dumont guy had a very interesting insight. And he said, emotion becomes action, becomes habits, becomes life. Okay? Emotion becomes action. Write this down. Emotion becomes action, becomes habit, becomes life. And then he talked at length about mindset, which was really interesting because he said you can't stand on the cliff and say, I'm going to die. This is never going to work. This is the stupidest idea I've ever had. But what was interesting is that he didn't put that there. He didn't put mindset in his list, but he talked about it as being the most important thing, having an intentionally positive mindset. So I'm going to add that because I believe that out of your thoughts come your emotions, out of your emotions come your actions, out of your actions come your habits, and out of your habits come your life. It all starts right here with mindset. Isn't that cool? That has just been eye-opening. Yeah, okay, maybe the marker's not going to survive. But hasn't this been fun? This has been so interesting. So let's say that this is hour number 1 out of 100 hours, and let's see what I get up to next time, because there's so much, you guys, there's so much to learn. There's so much, I mean, a couple of my passion areas are purpose, a sense of individual purpose, because one of the, Jay Shetty said, let's see if I can, I don't remember how he said it, but the idea was, if our roots are deep in purpose, it becomes easy to flower. That's not the words he used at all, but that was the idea, that was my takeaway. So if our roots are deep into our purpose, it becomes easy to flower and to thrive. And I love that idea. So let's do this flowering and thriving thing. How about it? Let's see, is there anything else? I can't think of anything else. So I'm going to just start a playlist. I'm going to add this video to it. And then I'm not making any promises about how often I'm going to do this. I'd like to tell you, oh, I'm going to do one a day for the next 100 days. That's not going to happen. I'm going to follow my flow, and I'm going to follow whatever it is that I am in, just because my curiosity is boundless. So wherever my curiosity takes me, that's where we're going to go with the next video. Okay? So like if you like, subscribe if you wish, if this is your thing, that's cool. There's an awful lot of content on this video, on this channel, about all kinds of things, which is just simply my ADD mind. And it's okay. It really is okay. if you're not into sewing or weaving, or me talking about my faith or my Mennonite heritage or the clothes or that I wear, or thrifting, or pick something, if that's not your thing, that's fine. It really is fine. I am not going to be the one, ooh, subscribe, like, every last second of every video. Just, welcome to my world, and if it's cool with you, subscribe, and if not, no problem, okay? So, thanks for hanging around with me, and I'll see you next time.